How to prepare for food shortage. Do you have a stockpile of essential foods ready and waiting for your household to use at a moment's notice? If not, then you're at risk of experiencing a crisis if food shortages occur in your area or even all across the globe. Fortunately, it's easy to learn how to prepare for food shortages, and we're here to help with this guide. Here's a look at all you need to know about preparing for food shortages. Every day seemingly brings new alerts about shortages of essential foods. These shortages are typically limited to a few products at a time and tend to resolve quickly. But there's always a risk of food shortages happening on a global scale. When the global food supply runs low, you won't want to be the one standing in long lines at the grocery store only to face empty shelves. It's much safer to have all the right items already on hand at home just in case something happens to the food supply chain. You can then keep your household well-nourished and hydrated while waiting for the food shortage to end. So, it's well worth preparing for supply chain issues by stocking up on emergency food, water, and other supplies. How to prepare for food shortage. My mother-in-law, Sue, prepares food in mylar bags for long-term storage. We now have a room dedicated to the storage of essential items. Most perishables are stored in mylar bags or are canned goods. We then store them in sturdy plastic buckets with lids to keep vermin out. When you're learning how to prepare for food shortage, plan to take a multi-pronged approach. You must have emergency kits ready to take on the go, along with a fully stocked pantry and well-kept garden space. 1. Build an emergency kit. Start with the creation of a kit filled with everything you'll need during emergency events, including food, water, and medical supplies. This food storage and supply kit will have everything your household needs to survive on your own until help arrives. You may also need to take the kit on the road if ordered to evacuate or your home otherwise gets compromised. 2. Stock up on non-perishables. Stock up on non-perishables to ensure your household has enough essentials to last through an extended food shortage. Prepare for a food shortage by filling up your pantry space with items that have a healthy shelf life, including canned food, rice, noodles, beans, and the like. Or, you can go even further with food preservation to fill the cellar or other long-term food storage space with the items you need to last several years. This is what we chose to do. Our emergency supplies room has healthy stocks of food, water purification materials, toilet paper, blankets, and other supplies. We add to the room regularly, especially when items are on special or when we can a batch of vegetables or fruit. See it as a work in progress, starting with the most essential items and working your way up to less essential, but great to have items. Amazon, for example, has great deals on bulk grocery buys. It's worth keeping an eye on those and things that are on special. Just food is not enough either. You will need kitchen tools, toilet paper, and other supplies to stay afloat until the supply chain issues work themselves out. We've even added a fishing net. The best types of non-perishable foods. The best types of non-perishable packaged and canned foods to put in your pantry and cellar include rice, noodles, dried beans, instant oatmeal, canned beans, canned veggies, canned fruits, canned meats, dried fruit, soup cans, coconut oil, crackers, granola bars, nut butter, nuts, jam. If you want to preserve foods, the sky is the limit in what you can store. Eggs and lime water, pickled vegetables, chutney, herb cans, and protein-rich soups are all great possibilities. Overall, just focus on getting real food with a long shelf life and high nutritional value. Processed foods are fine, too, since they have the salt and other preservatives needed to last for an extended period of time. To properly process whatever you grow in your garden, keep manual kitchen tools around as well, like a grain mill, wheat grinder, and bread mixer. Learn how to use them ahead of time, too, so you're not trying to figure out what to do in a high-stress situation. Improve your pantry supplies. Most food shortages are short-term events, but there's always a chance of an extended shortage occurring in your lifetime. To withstand that, your household will need a fully stocked pantry filled with extra food and other supplies. The additional items will help your family survive while waiting out the low availability of food in your area. If you want to stay self-sustainable for years, set your sights on filling your cellar or another long-term food storage area with preserved foods as well. The extra food will go a long way in keeping you out of grocery stores throughout periods of intense shopping frenzies. Beyond that, if you have a large chest freezer, you can fill it with meat, frozen vegetables, and other items as needed to support your household's food needs. You can even freeze bread made with whole grains if you wish. Just be sure to stock up when food prices are low to save money in the long run. That way, you can ensure you can get enough food for any emergency that arises. 3. Create a bountiful garden. How to prepare for food shortage by planting vegetables and saving vegetable seeds. My daughter, Amber, planting seeds for our spring crop. A vegetable garden is one of the best ways to ensure an ongoing food supply. Increase your self-sufficiency by saving seeds and planting perennial varieties as well as annual types. A well-kept garden is a gift that keeps on giving, helping you prepare for a food shortage by ensuring you have enough fresh food to support your family. You can either set up your garden, learn how to get started from scratch here, on your land, or grab a spot in the local community garden. Either way, you'll want to create a bountiful gardening plan that allows you to harvest fruits, veggies, and herbs year-round. Plus, make sure to properly collect and save all your seeds to create a truly self-sustainable garden space. By addressing these 3 areas, you'll be ready to weather any upcoming food shortages that arise. You can then quit worrying about how potential supply chain disruptions might prevent your family from eating healthy foods. 4. Raise chickens or other animals. How to prepare for food shortage by raising animals. Our newest lamb. Besides a vegetable garden, raising your own animals is a great way to prepare for a food shortage. You don't need a lot of room to add 2 or 3 chickens, rabbits, ducks, or quail. Small animals like these are incredibly productive. Chickens and ducks will provide you with an almost endless supply of eggs and meat. Add butchering to your list of skills to learn to be even more prepared. 5. Learn these long-term storage tips. August Farms breakfast and dinner variety pail emergency food supply everyday meals 4-gallon pail. Your stockpile of food needs to get stored properly to withstand the test of time. Freezer foods are not non-perishable, but they can work well if rotated out regularly. You'll also need to rotate out your non-perishables in your food storage areas, just not as often as your freezer goods. To keep your items edible and ready to nourish your family, start by labeling everything with the date you bought them. Then, mark the items down in a spreadsheet with the purchase date, ideal use by date, and location in your home. After that, store the pantry items off the ground in a cool, dry location. If you're using your cellar, make sure that all your food sits on sturdy shelves. All your frozen goods go in the freezer for regular and emergency use. Check your list monthly to see what needs to get rotated out. As you identify items to use up, rotate them into your normal food supply and replace them during your next trip to the store. By taking this approach, you'll avoid having to replace everything all at the same time, keeping your costs manageable without compromising your ability to stay well prepared. Your efforts will also help reduce food waste through the years.